I'm here on the south side of Buffalo, New York, in a predominantly Irish neighborhood where we got a great story about two brothers. Kevin, or Lyles as he was known, was part owner of this neighborhood pub. Unfortunately, in 2002, he passed away. Now, no one wanted to see the pub leave the family, so his brother Pat, a local fireman, along with his brother-in-law, took over. One of the things we love on Triple D is tradition. Time to check out Blackthorn Restaurant Pub.
Beef on weck.
Roast beef on a salt and caraway top weck roll.
This is what Buffalo's known for, the perfect sandwich.
And head chef Max Leatherbarrow
Coming up.
is cranking out around $20,000 a year. What are we gonna make?
We're making our roast beef for the beef on weck sandwich.
Beef on weck. Well, show me the way we do it.
Start with onions in the pan, carrot, celery.
So we're making a little mirepoix, it looks like, to the bottom
Basically,
of this pan.
yes. Then we're gonna put the beef in the pan. Angus round,
Big top round.
big top round. Next, I do a browning agent.
Agent browning?
Agent browning.
Like a little kitchen bouquet or something along
Yeah.
that?
Rub that in. All right, we put a little Worcestershire on. Montreal steak seasoning. Pat that down. And then last, we have some fresh rosemary.
That you grew in your backyard.
Yeah, I brought this from home.
So what's gonna happen now?
This is gonna go straight in the oven.
300 degrees, 3 hours. Are you going for an internal temperature?
Yeah, I'm looking for around maybe 110.
So you're really coming out medium rare.
Who's ready?
Wow.
There you have it.
Look at that bad boy. So you let it rest. When you slice into it, all the juices don't come flowing out.
Exactly.
And this is what we're gonna make the au jus from?
Yeah, I basically put all the vegetables and ham drippings into a pot. Add water, kosher salt, a little browning agent, ground black pepper, beef base. Once the au jus comes to a boil, we strain it, and that's your au jus.
That's it. Then we'll slice it.
That's our final product.
And then we're gonna put this on weck.
Start with the bun, dip the top in au jus, into our caraway seed and kosher salt.
I've never seen someone do it here in location. I've always seen it come with it on there.
Why not fresh?
Why not?
All right, take our beef, add a dip, right in the au jus. Let it warm up for a minute. We got the bottom of our bun, put our beef on there, top of the bun. There you have it.
So that's it. Beef on weck. Nice and soaking weck. Wow. So tender. Big flavor. Crazy with the salt and the caraway. That au jus is awesome, too. I could only probably eat about 1,000 of those. Nice job, man.
Beef on weck is so delicious.
Meat's perfect, it's tender, there's no grizzle, no nothing.
No schnizzle on the grizzle.
No snizzle on the grizzle.
That's how they say it around here.
Beef on weck in the window.
I just love the place.
You know, one of the things we dig on Triple D is stories about restaurants being passed down from generation to generation. A lot of times it's father to son, but every once in a while we get one with a little twist, like a location here in Buffalo, New York, where it's mother to son, where Sophia Ananiatis has raised her son Sam in the business. Now he's taken over, and boy, is she proud. Welcome to Sophia's.
Open-faced steak.
Oh, it's heaven.
And this Buffalo favorite.
The cut fried bologna onions on there. That hit it.
Everybody has kind of like a combination. Fried bologna and onions, you had me there. Good to go? Homemade bread, grilled onions, and about 400 pounds of bologna.
Yes. Stack it up real high, and a little higher.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Put it right on top. Mustard on here, and that's it.
You guys want to come down and help me eat this? Here we go. Great. Bread's money. It's crunchy. It's like you put breading on the outside of the bread. You're taking something simple comfort food like bologna, fat cooks, to get some of the caramelization and
The onions. And
yeah. I like it, man. So let me throw some numbers at you. How about 7, 11, and 200? See, I'm in Lackawanna, New York, right by Buffalo, where this guy grew up and lived in 7 different houses in this neighborhood. Now, over the course of 11 years, he made over 200 trips to New York City to sample, taste, and research the finest Italian restaurants. Now, you add up those numbers, what do you get? 218, right? Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. What you get is a neighborhood guy that comes back to his home turf and is serving up handmade Italian food. Welcome to Malberry Italian Ristorante.
Lasagna for table 7.
This place is awesome. I love it.
Joe's doing 45 pounds of handmade lasagna. Handmade pasta, handmade sauce. Let's do this.
All right.
So we got the all-purpose flour.
00.
Oh, this is 00.
00, yes, sir.
00 flour is the optimum. Really high gluten. So we're gonna create a well, get the eggs in.
The salt,
Now, are you doing food processor, or this is always how you doing it?
always by hand, because it's the right way to do it.
Little oil. This is about as old school as it gets right here. How much will this make us?
2 layers of lasagna.
And how many layers you got?
4.
You gotta double that up?
Right.
Now, you'll let this rest, what, half hour?
Wet towel over it.
Okay, so we got our dough rested. Work your magic.
A little semolina flour. And cut a little bit off.
So you got somebody back here full time almost doing this.
We do it by committee.
Just making it to a workable size so you can get it into the machine. I think it could use a little oil.
Yeah, no question. Nice and thin. That's about it.
Give me the rundown, brother.
All right, I'm gonna butter this pan, and I'm gonna throw some panko in there. Just to get these fresh sheets to build the wall first.
I feel like I'm at some cake decorating competition, and you're making the lasagna cake. How many of these you make a day?
2 of them every day, 3 on Saturdays. With a sauce,
You make the tomato sauce too?
absolutely. Meatballs, please.
All that time and attention you did to those meatballs, you're just gonna go and slice them right up, throw them right on the bottom of this thing.
That's right.
Wow. Little mozz and parm combo. Another sheet of pasta.
A little bit more sauce on there.
Now chicken, we can get the whole coop in there. More mozz and parm.
Right.
Another sheet of pasta, and then what?
Stuffed hot pepper mixture. Just needs a little bit of sauce first.
Now sausage and peppers. I feel like I'm in lasagna surgery here at Flavortown Memorial. Dr. Joe's been working feverishly. Then another layer of the pasta, and then the ricotta on top.
Yes, sir.
Which is tossed with a little...
Fresh parsley and a little bit of garlic. I think our patient's progressing nicely. Put just a little bit more sauce on there, and then we're just gonna fold this over.
Pick it up a nice.
I think we'll cover the patient. I expect a full recovery, probably within the next hour or so.
At what temperature?
375.
Like it. Look at that. Over the top with the marinara.
Right.
So we get in here and spot me. That's seriously the portion. Garnished with some Parmigiano Reggiano.
And some fresh basil.
Mr. Bunyan, I don't know if I want to eat it or climb it.
That's the way we do it.
Look at this right here. Sticks together. Wow, man.
Good?
That's not good. That's great. It's rich. It's flavorful. Everything you want a lasagna to be. And quality.
My man.
Nice job, Joe. I have to get you your tattoo. That's some gangster lasagna right there. I don't whip that out all the time. That lasagna, that deserves it.
Just a lot of meat. It's nice and spicy. It's got the hot peppers in there.
Did you really eat that whole mountain?
And I'm trying to finish the rest.
I'm waving the flag, man. I'm done. So here I am, Buffalo, New York, about 5 miles northeast of Lake Erie, at a joint that was once a diner, and then changed into a Chinese restaurant, well, then transplanted from Pennsylvania, and then turned back into a diner. And guess what? That's not even the amazing part. These guys are, well, they're curing their own ham, they're corning their own beef, and they're smoking their own bacon. This is Lake Effect Diner. Now, this joint is smoking for real.
Ready to rock and roll?
Everything from turkey to bacon
Oh, it's so good.
to ham. So a boneless pork leg, and you're gonna make your own.
We're gonna make our own ham.
I don't think on Triple D yet we've seen anybody make a ham.
This is old school curing. We'll start with our brine, okay? About a gallon of water, some dried cloves here, black peppercorns,
Dry mustard.
lots of dried mustard, light brown sugar, made right here in Buffalo, New York, maple syrup,
Yeah, boy.
sodium nitrate here,
Offers nice color.
and then kosher salt.
Okay, bring that to a little simmer.
Yes, we're gonna get that into a rumbling boil. And then we'll cut our ham in half for the cooled brine on top, and that's a 12, 14-day process.
And then it'll go to the smoker.
For about 3 hours. We'll also slow smoke the bones that we'll use in the stock for our red-eye gravy. Smoke those over mesquite charcoal, and we also burn apple and hickory woods.
Wow.
Sugars are starting to caramelize up on them.
Look at this. Just take a little looky-loo at that.
Isn't that beautiful? It's got that real maple.
Don't talk in the middle of it, just. And this is all for a breakfast item on a menu.
Correct.
A breakfast item,
One item.
one item. So now we take them, pop them in the oven, bring them up to about 145, finish the cooking process, take them out.
We got our bones. They're all smoked off. Got the fat nicely out of them. And now I'm gonna dump the pan juices in there.
Little mirepoix.
Carrot, celery, and onion.
Dig it.
Black peppercorn.
We are going to be straining this.
Yes, we are. Some kosher salt. Frank's hot sauce.
Wow.
This is the secret to good wings. It's also the secret to good red-eye gravy. Brindle of fresh thyme, add some coffee to it
Now, how long will this sit there and simmer?
for about 3 hours.
Strain it, and then be ready to serve with the ham.
Correct. Got our ham right here.
Slice them up.
Get that going on the flat top with eggs and home fries.
Egg, baby.
A little bit of our red-eye gravy here. Let me get these eggs, some of our home fries, and our ham on there too. A little more red-eye gravy.
And I hope you're going to say that. This is very flavorful, tender ham for sure. I like a side of ham with some ham. Being raised eating red-eye gravy, I've seen a lot of different variations. I do think that I would like to have a cup of red-eye gravy to chug. Awesome, bub. Nice
Order
job.
up.
Here I am, East Amherst, New York, about 20 miles from downtown Buffalo, to visit a place that's been voted best burgers 3 years running. Now, that's enough of a reason to visit a joint, right? But get this, there's a kicker. This place was actually the old hunting lodge for Grover Cleveland. You know, Grover Cleveland, the president? Isn't that cool? Here we are at Grover's.
Cheeseburger soup?
Yep, cheeseburger soup.
It's just what it says it is. Cheese broth with large chunks of burger in it. Excellent.
I got a bowl of cheeseburger soup.
Not having to worry about the bun and all that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic.
Tastes like a cheeseburger in a bowl.
Okay, now I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
First thing we do is put in the wonderful butter. Let this soften up a tad. All right, now you can give me the onions.
Got it?
We have to wait now for these to sweat out.
Sweat those down, turn them translucent. And now, here's the new burger that they're serving here at Grover's. This is the 4-pounder. See, this is a great move. You get some of that charred texture that you get on flat top.
Yeah.
So, you glaze the pan?
With water. And then I'm gonna put my chicken base in there. Next, half and half.
Okay.
Could you pass the slurry, please?
Is that a flour slurry or a...
Yes, flour and water. Now we'll put in the cheese sauce.
I thought it was mustard, and I'm like, I don't know how possible you could put that much
You
mustard
thought
in
it
it.
was mustard?
Who made this recipe up?
Actually, I did. I just played with it, and this is what happened. Now we put in that wonderful burger. Next, lettuce.
We're really gonna put lettuce and tomato in this.
Yes, we are. Is there lettuce on a cheeseburger?
Well, I know there is, but
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
And lastly, the tomatoes. We mix it all together, and we're all done. Ready to taste it.
This is crazy. It smells like cheeseburger.
Here's to ya.
No way. This is, no kidding, liquid cheeseburger. Super flavor. I mean, it's really awesome. Not too cheesy. Right size of tomato. And you know what makes it? The lettuce. That little bit of sweetness to it.
Glad you're enjoying it.
This is like my 19th spoonful. That is so delicious.
I love it, and it's wonderful.
1 cup of cheeseburger soup.
Look at that monster bite. What do you got for me? 2 thumbs up? You heard it right from him.
And there's the cheeseburger soup for you.
I don't think we could ever copy this.